5192 want to send a text. 7-2 White Sox playing the Guardians right around the corner. It's the eighth inning just ended, what I'm looking at. And then the Minnesota Twins will be in town for 5 games between Friday and Sunday, right around the corner. So still plenty of baseball to be played in the city of Cleveland, Ohio, as we round third base the regular season. How's that for a sports euphemism? We're rounding third base on the regular season. They'll play the White Sox, Rangers, Rays, Royals. Those are the last few teams that they're playing. They're finishing the regular season with 6 games against the Royals here at home, culminating on October the 5th. And, of course, all month long, we're halfway through it. You can use the promo code BUZZ for 20% off. I just used it day before yesterday. Right down here on the corner, flagship store for CLE Clothing Company, East 4th and Euclid. But you can just as easily do it online if you don't want to get up. You can get online. They got all the Buzzard retro merch there for you. I think we have our own section. And just use Buzz, and you'll get 20% off. Whatever it is that you're doing.
And what theme is that? What's Buzz again?
Maybe it's short for Buzzard. I don't know.
Okay, it might be Buzz.
That's what I'm going with, but I don't know.
Or maybe bees. Well, no, I guess that would be more of a spring theme. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, right? Everybody's trying to text me and find out which Chipotle pound cake was talking about.
No, but that's the thing.
It's this one. It's this one. One person got it right.
And that's the thing that it's all over.
Of course, yeah. It's not limited to one. It's not like there's one location that just hired all the.
But the fact that I can say that and people have assumptions of where it is means it happens a lot on your ball.
Now, what people are telling me though is that the food actually tastes better in those neighborhoods. The service,
seasoning.
The service might be lacking. Yeah, but they don't season the food, do
yes,
they?
They do.
They make it all.
No, they do?
Yes, they do.
They don't just heat it up and there it is?
No,
they make it all
that's
from
the beauty of Chipotle.
Oh, they do.
It's the beauty of Chipotle. They ain't paying me to say that stuff.
The beauty of Chipotle.
No, they make it. They have a grill behind everybody, and they're making the chicken as it comes.
Oh,
but they're
okay.
always out of everything. That is my complaint. Like, you feel like if you have a high traffic restaurant, you are prepared for this stuff. There should be no reason why, if you're taking inventory every night and you know pretty much how many people are going to come into your restaurant on a daily basis, why are you out of tops to your bowls?
Well, here's the thing, though. It's probably different for a restaurant like that if they're using a bunch of fresh stuff. Because if you miss, you don't want to have leftover food at the end of the day, is what I'm saying. I mean,
right.
So if it's a place where their hamburgers are coming out of the freezer and they just heat them up or whatever, they don't care. But if you're talking about a place, this is the double-edged sword on people that want fresh food. A, you're going to wait longer for it. B, they can't be stuck with like leftover food. So it's like when I used to work in the hotel business. You would always overbook your hotel because you would factor in a percentage of people who will cancel. And so that way, though you overbook, so when your 3 to 5% cancels, you got full capacity. Trouble is, if that percentage doesn't cancel, then you're overbooked. And so you have people showing up who think they have a room because they reserved a room. Anyone can take a reservation. You just don't know how to hold the reservation. And I was the front desk manager, so I'd have people screaming in my face, and they weren't wrong. We'd have to give them vouchers to go to another hotel. Good luck doing that on a convention weekend in downtown Chicago. And it's probably the same here. Hotels will consistently overbook because they assume a certain cancellation rate. If you're a restaurant like Chipotle and you're dealing with fresh ingredients, you got to go, okay, we can't be holding the bag on leftover stuff. So maybe they ordered too little one day, or I don't know.
I
don't know how any of that works, but I think that's probably, for a restaurant that works like that, is probably a bigger issue than places where they're just freezing it and nuking it.
I completely understand the shortage of food, especially in the crisis we're in right now with the food shortage. I'm not necessarily talking about the food. It's the way you deliver. We're out of something. We're out of this.
You're talking about their bedside manner.
Their bedside manner, and then on top of that, okay, food, but what about the tops? tops to bowls, tops to drinks. Like people were literally out there.
But that could be Jerry just forgot to order them.
There have been condiment stations of Chipotle that literally like a tornado hit it. Like it was, I'll turn around to go get a straw for my drink, and then napkins flying everywhere. I'm like, what is going on here?
But that's not their fault. That's the people's fault. That's the animals who are going in there.
It's the environment you set.
Whatever.
If you wrap the top of my bowl in tinfoil, I'm gonna assume you really don't care about your napkins being all tidy.
You could put a fast food place like that in the nicest neighborhood in the state, and you're still gonna have things in disarray out in the dining room.
I know who the regulars.
Because people are animals.
They are animals. I know who the regulars are at Chipotle because when they're all out of something, when they're out of forks, spoons, or knives or napkins, they're like, oh. Open up the cabinet underneath, and then I'm like, I have condiments at home. I'm not going to treat Chipotle like it's my house and just go in. We're out of toilet paper. Let me just open up this cabinet and grab another one. Like, these people will literally go in there and get what they want. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take my business elsewhere where I'm not screamed at for what ingredients on my bowl, on my burrito bowl.
Alan, I had ordered online and ordered chips with my food. And when I got there, I noticed the chips weren't in the bag. So I asked them for chips, and they said, what effing chips? We don't got no chips.
I believe it.
That's great, too.
We ain't got no
I know what you
chips.
ordered. That's great.
We out of that.
All the ingredients are on the app. It's like the old line, what would you like? I'll give you what we have. And it's not confined to them. I only mentioned Chipotle because they were cracking down on people trying to build their own burrito on the app. It's absolutely not confined to them. They're dealing with the same thing everybody else is. They have a higher level of difficulty if they're dealing with fresh stuff every day. I also heard from a lot of people who are actually in worse shape than we are on those test phishing emails, people who work for huge companies and get them all the time. If we open the email and don't click the report phishing button, our supervisor gets an auto notice and we have to do remedial security training. We get way more test phishing emails than actual phishing emails, and then they brag about how many digital threats they stopped when they're probably behind most of them, this person says. Yeah. But again, I will stand by, poor grammar is not the own that you think it is when trying to get people to recognize phishing emails. Look at this. There's poor grammar in the signature. Yeah, nobody's looking at that 2-point font at the bottom.
I'm more worried about the people on Facebook that see, like, the cookies, know what type of stuff you like, and then you try to go shopping on Facebook, and it'd be like, buy this, and you get free shipping, and then you buy it, or buy it for $1, and we'll give you for free shipping. I'm like, that don't even sound right. I wonder how many people buy an item for $1, get free shipping, and then now they have all your information. They'll continue to send you things. Like,
maybe
they do.
Alan, we all listen to Pound Cake to know there's never a shortage of tops. Get it?
I do. I haven't been late in a while, so whatever.
Right? Hey, Roscoe.
Yo.
What up?
Yeah, just commenting on that. You're talking about places being out of tops and stuff. Like, yeah. I mean, the supply chains have been interrupted since 2019.
Right.
I mean, back in the beginning of it, you had entire plants shutting down because one person tested positive.
Right.
Even today, people test positive. They don't come to work. Added to the employee shortage everywhere because nobody wants to work, even though they got their $15, $17 an hour minimum wage that they want. Now they just don't want to work, period. I mean, these shortages are across the board in every industry. I mean, I don't even work in restaurants.
Roscoe, you're saying these are the inevitable ripple effects of a lot of questionable decisions.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you,
because,
pal.
I mean, even the things that you think wouldn't be out, they're out. We were out of lumber at one point.
Right. And people go, well, all these trees. How are we out of lumber, man? Cut down some trees. I mean, Charlie got his wood shop going. Charlie got his wood shop going during the pandemic.
Right.
What kind of lumber shortage?
Because he wants to work.
That's right. He ain't getting no $17 an hour. Okay, thank you, Roscoe. I appreciate the call, pal. Because nobody wants to work. I mean, I don't know.
He said 2019. I mean, I would imagine it didn't go back that far.
You don't think so? 2019?
Because the pandemic was 2020.
Well, I think he's saying that it's not all pandemic related, but
so-
then there were a lot of in his
that's okay.
his estimation. I think he's saying there were a lot of bad decisions made that exacerbated those. One company fished their employees with the promise of a bonus gift card and then didn't deliver. Yeah, you can't scam your own employees. That's why people don't want to work, by the way. Getting scammed by their own companies. Al, my company sent me a phishing email last week. At the beginning said something about this is to inform everyone of someone being fired for inappropriate behavior. So, of course, you want to see who. And he clicked the link. It's your thirst for gossip. The gotcha.
Got that? Gotta have that hot goss.
Now I have to
want
do
that hot goss.
Now I have to do some dumbass training, he said.
I'm surprised they haven't done anything like, see which one of your coworkers got a little out of hand at last year's Christmas party.
I'll tell you what, if they're smart at iHeart, they'll send out a phishing test email that's got like, check out Mary Santora's toe pics. See who clicks on those. Huh.
This iHeartMedia employee now started an OnlyFans.
Hey, check it out, man.
Everyone would be scammed.
Yeah, of course.
They got me.
Yep. Just click the link. You're going to find out who. Hey, we're all pretty sharp. I think I click on that. One of your fellow employees. Check it out. I was reading about a guy who used his telemarketer settlement money to open a bar. This guy in North Carolina would keep telemarketers on the line long enough, like scammers and things. He runs an IT company. And he's like, you get so many calls a day, and whatever it is that they're selling, he would keep them on the line and talking to them and answering their questions to get enough information to figure out who they were, and then he'd go after them, and he'd sue them. And with all the settlement money, he got over $100,000. And he bought an old bar, and he's calling it the Wrong Number Tavern. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time put in, too.
And the telemarketers weren't doing anything but their job. Why are they getting sued?
Well, no, I think he's talking about, I don't know if he's talking about scam call centers or, but even if it's
like the Nigerian Prince Cafe, I guess it doesn't roll off the tongue.
Well, yeah, or in India. I mean, there's YouTubers. This guy, Mark Rober, I've mentioned him before, and he's by trade an engineer. He was with NASA for a while, but he's a guy that went viral on YouTube for doing like glitter bombs for porch pirates and things like that. My daughter is fascinated by these videos of his, but he has a whole series of videos where he hooked up with some other people to like nail these call centers in India, scammers and stuff. So this guy's calling his bar the Wrong Number.
I just started answering those calls and answering their questions enough to figure out who they are. And then once I figured out who they were, I was able to go after them. When I last counted, it was just over $100,000. It's going to be called the Wrong Number. Yep. The whole telemarketer thing just kind of gave it the backstory I didn't have before. So that's how the wrong number came about is, well, hey, they called the wrong number because then they had to deal with me, and it led to a bar.
Sweet revenge. But here's the problem. Now he has to run a bar. It's one of those things that always sounds awesome when you're hammered with your friends. But you talk to somebody who runs a bar, unless it's somebody who's been running one for like 50 years, and they're not going anywhere.
You always have to be aware, too, because at any moment, John Taffer could just come into your bar and start screaming at you.
Yes. I didn't even ask for a rescue, John. We had John Taffer on the show years ago, and the guy was screaming on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That was just his normal speaking
That's
voice.
just how he does things.
Yeah.
That's how he does it.
Coming in to rescue your bar. You think he's going to do it in a normal tone of voice?
No. He's fired up.
Yeah.
Is that something that you
Wants to rescue your bar.
If radio ever chews you up and spits you out, would you?
It will.
Okay, but I'm saying, would you take all the extra money? Like, are you just gonna retire and just not work? Or are you gonna like open up a bar like Allen's or like something?
I have no interest in opening up a bar.
Okay.
I'll probably spend a lot of time in bars. But no, I have no interest in doing anything like that. I would rather, that's like setting.
You don't want your own LLC?
No. There are plenty of people who are very successful at that. I don't have a head for business. I might as well just light a pile of money on fire. Most of those places go out of business the first year anyway. because the profit margins are so thin.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many restaurants, it's like you think about it, you go, I can't believe any restaurant survived the pandemic. Any of them. I know some people were getting like PPP money and stuff.
Or no, Uber Eats saved a lot of businesses. Like that's why they were.
I'm sure it did. In the very beginning, there were places that were like, we'll sell food out of the parking lot, or it's all good. And then when they were able to finally serve, booze, that was even better because for a while they couldn't do that. At the beginning of the pandemic, they were like, you can't have open. Remember that was a big deal when they got their open container go ahead, or they could sell cocktails, to-go cocktails. Somebody called on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, Alan and company, listening to the podcast, and you were saying something along the lines of getting drunk on Franzia boxed wine. You said something about you guys had the Franzia Red. I was wondering if it was the same kind of Franzia Red that I really enjoyed back in college. Me being the idiot that I was, I thought the brand was Franzia Chilable Red, and I thought I was really fancy. Come to find out, the word is chillable. And I've never lived it down. Hate the show. Bye.
Can I have a Chilable, please? It's
That would totally be something.
That's so funny.
Oh God, I thought he meant Chablis,
Chilable.
like Chablis wines, right? Isn't that a thing? I don't know wines, but we were talking about wines yesterday. I think Chablis is like a red wine. Chilable. Oh, that's great.
It's French.
That's right. It's from the Burgundy region. Like a Chilable, please. It's funny and gratifying, I guess, when I find the least likely people that I think would never listen to this show, and I find out they listen to the show. Somebody was in the hallway outside our suite, someone we work with, and I won't say who it is, but this would be the dead last person I would ever think would listen to this show.
Send it to the group.
And she goes, we were passing each other in the long hallway. We don't know each other really at all. And she just didn't even break stride. And she goes, Franzia boxed wine. And I laughed. I go, yeah,
Now, does she listen to the show or did she catch it in the kitchen? The kitchen catch.
Are we on in the kitchen?
Yes, we are on in the kitchen.
We
I ate
are
lunch in there.
on in the kitchen.
Yeah, so she was making small talk.
Finally, after all the years of having to listen to WTAM in the
There you
hallways,
go. We finally made it to the kitchen.
We are on in the kitchen,
we're on in
the
which is the only place that there is a radio on in this new office. So
Is that where all the, well, because they just started, there's a speaker out in the big main area too.
is there?
Yeah, they were testing it the other night when I was leaving.
Oh,
They were trying to figure out what station to put on it.
I haven't heard that one.
Because they're not, back at Oak Tree, they were always blasting TAM through
Mhm.
the hallways, and it was insufferable. And I'm like, well, at least you don't have to put us on. Just put music on. Why do I have to listen to Glenn Beck, for Christ's sake? But now they're just playing music out there, and I guess it's usually us. I think it's a lake sometimes. Maybe it's on rotation.
Every time I go into the kitchen, it's that's us. We're the
Well,
kitchen.
I just know today because I ate my little burger in there.
You
and
stood there at the long table and ate?
I sat at the table and ate because usually
Oh, they have chairs?
they have chairs now, but chairs wasn't the issue. They would have like wires and stuff, like old computer parts sitting on that table, and then I would be out sitting in our little common area, eating my lunch, and like people just.
I want you to
randomly walk
sit
by.
in your car at the very top floor of the parking garage where you get stuck.
Because it's slanted, and when I eat, all my fries fly to one side.
All the ketchup drips down your shirt.
It's all slanted. I don't want to sit there.
I got to get on a level playing field here.
But people would ask, they're like, how come you don't eat your lunch in the kitchen? A, I just think they don't want to see me eat. And two, well, when it's edible in there, I will.
It's eatable. They had to roust people from that table under the giant video screen.
That's where I was sitting before.
Yeah, they started telling people, hey, because they're trying to make this place look cool and
Because I
professional.
look trashy sitting there.
But you're not the only one.
No,
The people that I
that
saw.
was like where most people were hanging out.
But there
and,
was
like,
no
yeah.
room in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's
I understand.
why.
Because they
Flies
don't
everywhere.
want people eating here. This is a place of business. They don't want any personal touches
They
at
don't
this
want you to
place.
be.
I
a
get no
human.
peace.
They
It was-
don't want you to get comfortable here.
In my studio back at Oak Tree, no peace. Couldn't eat there. Then I would go in the kitchen, and then they took the kitchen away. They just got rid of the kitchen.
Well, no, you go back to that business center. You know where that is?
Oh, you mean all the way out? You mean out of this?
Oh, yeah.
studio?
Oh,
okay.
yeah. You go all the way. There's never anybody in there. There's like a little kitchen counter area there. There's a big long table. That's where the vending machine is. There's never anybody in there. I've eaten in there a couple of times.
Okay.
Sitting there by myself, enjoying my alone time.
Mm-hmm.
Something eatable. All right, I'm going to break here. I'll have 9 Inch Nails tickets for you. How about that? Coming back home to Ohio, 9 Inch Nails with Ministry and Nitzer Ebb. It's a sold-out show. It has been for a while. It's next Friday night. Friday, Saturday? Next Saturday night, probably. Next weekend. So a couple of tickets for 9 Inch Nails after the break. 35192, and text me for anything else. And you can watch live at AlanCoxShow.com.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on